Hey, Ben.
Hey, Lynn. Serious question to start. Have you seen Kelsey's cameo in Happy Gilmore 2? Or has your family? And if so, can you give a review?
Well, it just came out last night, right?
Maybe you watched it today. I don't know.
No, I haven't, but I will watch it with my kids. It's a good. So I'll have to give her a, Roger Ebert kind of criticism or compliment. We'll see how she does.
And just on a more serious note, obviously, you were talking about it this morning defensively. Like, what do you want to see defensively against New York, who obviously has so much size now getting JJ back?
Yeah, I think they're the best. They're just a tough out. Not only are they really good around the rim, and JJ back really changes them for the better, right? Just her ability to shoot and score around the rim. So they have legitimate size, but they're the best 3-point shooting team in the league. So it's a tough combo, right? So I think we've got to defend the 3-point line, and then just be locked in on matchups and who we're guarding and what the game plan is for each guy. And we're not naive to their firepower. So we have our hands full, but I do think we have a good game plan, and we've been playing better defensively, and our players are feeling a little more confident on that end, and we're going to need every bit of it.
Coach, just first want to ask you about how Sanaya has gotten her minutes now in the rotation and how she's made that impact when she's been on the floor while still trying to improve daily. And I saw Cam get the warm up as she continues to trend up. You had her officially as doubtful. So is that something to plan where you're probably going to hold her back until when you get back home and everything? So, yep.
Yeah, I'll answer that one first. I don't know exactly when Cam will play, but she's getting close. And, my job is to coach the guys we've got now that are cleared, but she's been practicing more. But in all honesty, we haven't had much practice time. So, the last 2 days in between, we played at Washington, and then the day before Connecticut, we didn't practice, and then yesterday we didn't practice, just recovery and all that. So she hasn't been out there a lot with her team, but she's getting more and more cleared. So whenever I get the green light, she'll be back. So I'm just waiting for that, but I don't know exactly. But she looks great. She's been working her tail off, and I know she's really anxious to get back out there and excited. Sanaya, I think we just like every team, you evolve as the season goes, and you kind of there's been some roster changes for us, and Sanaya is someone that we believe in. She's a big, strong body that isn't afraid of being physical. And that's what I'm looking for her to do and just continue to get better. And she's a rookie that hasn't got a ton of minutes under her belt. So it's kind of inconsistent right now. But I believe in her. And, she does bring size and 6 fouls, and she's not shy. She's not shy about trying to score and rebound and all those things. So continue to just, it's really hard in this league to develop young players. But through this process, just continue to try to develop her, because I think she could be a really good pro.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Jackie.
I'm just curious, what are some patterns that you've noticed about the team during this win streak?
Patterns. Say more.
Meaning, like, what are, with each game within the winning streak, what are certain things you're noticing about what the team is doing that have
Gotcha.
been the same over the past few games?
I think we're playing with, we always want to try to play with pace and space, and I think that has gotten better. It's just more natural. They're thinking less, which it's weird to say as a coach. You don't want them to think as much, but in a system like ours, it's a lot of, it's read and react and instinct and learning to play with each other and all those things. And so just thank God, with some roster continuity, we've been able to develop that. So I think playing with more pace, and then, learning to win is a skill. And I think you have to learn how to win. And I'm noticing, just there's a different level of confidence, and it's not arrogance at all, but it's just like, we're okay, we got this. The way they're talking to each other in huddles and in timeouts, and it's different. So I think they're gaining some sincere confidence. So I would say those two things right now.
And also, I guess I'm just curious if you could share with us how Latricia Trammell has really helped you in this group. Obviously, the organization announced, I don't remember how many days ago, but it was recently,
Yeah.
about her role.
Right after the All-Star break. Yeah. So, I mean, in full transparency, LT has been we kind of hired her as a consultant at the beginning of the season. Our coaching staff has a lot of coaching experience, but not a lot of W experience. And so we kind of, she's just an incredible human being. And she'd been with the Sparks organization in the past. And so we just kind of hired her as a consultant to, help me and the other guys, just kind of things you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And then after during the All-Star break, I'm a big analytic nerd. And so I just did a deep dive analytically on where we're good, where we're not, what we're struggling with, what we need to focus on. We're top 4 in almost every offensive category, and we were bottom 3 in every defensive one. And so, I'm not shy to say that we want to make the playoffs, and that's been the goal since I took this job. But you can't just hope it happens. And so in this league, it's a game of inches, to quote Al Pacino. And if there's any advantage to be gained, I'm going to try to find it. And so, LT can now that she's officially on staff, she can really headline our defense, and hopefully we can climb the rankings there and become a serious playoff team by the end of the season.
Hey, Coach.
Hi.
When you guys brought in Julie a couple of weeks ago, you talked about how excited you were to add some shooting. And
Yeah.
I know it was small samples, but she was struggling from 3, 21% when she was with the Valkyries, but it's 48% since she came to you guys.
Yeah.
Is there a way that you're scheming her differently, or is in terms of generating looks for her, or is it just confidence and just kind of pouring into her, or what's going on there?
I think you'd have to ask her, but she has, all of our players have the green light, and I know that's unique. And but you're not going to play if you can't shoot. Sorry, and she can shoot, and so she's been given the green light. And everybody on our team knows what a great shot is. So if you have a great shot, let it fly. So they're not. My philosophy in that is, if you're not worried, if you should be taking it, if players aren't worried about, then the rim gets bigger, and you're not worried about missing. And so she's got the green light. She knows it. She knows I believe in her. I was thrilled to get her, wanted her the moment the Valkyries released her. And it was funny, we were teasing her today that she got to ride on the team bus over today instead of waiting for us outside. So she's officially part of the team today.
Coach, Plum has been in Las Vegas for years, and so her first season with LA. How have you seen her confidence evolve in terms of what she needs to do for this team in order to be successful?
Yeah, she's been great. And I've known KP since college, high school. And so we kind of had a not, in-depth relationship like coach player, but I've known her. So there was a comfortable level with us. And she came to LA because she wanted to be the head of the snake, right? And that's what we've done, is kind of given her the reins. And it's a process to learn how to do that too. Like, do I try to score 30 every game? Do I try to get other people involved? And I think what you're seeing now, because she's playing at an incredibly high level right now, is she's kind of figured that out as to when to be aggressive and determined to score, and when to attack. And she draws so much attention from the other team's defense that she can really, and she's a great passer. So she's learning how to do it. She is one of the most I find myself to be irrationally competitive. She might have me beat. Don't tell her I said that. She's so competitive. And that's what we need, we're climbing, and you've got to have just competitors that don't just want to be pro players, they want to win. And that's what KP is. And, she's the heart and soul of this team.
We'll finish on Zoom with Justin.
Hey, Coach, good to see you.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, you've mentioned throughout the last couple of games, the progress that Rakia's made on the defensive end and how much more comfortable she's gotten overall. When you look back at the beginning of the year, you've talked before also about your adjustment period to the players and getting used to the league yourself. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed, especially with Rakia, that she's also gotten more comfortable with your system, her place within the system, and her defensive assignments that she might draw on a given night?
Yeah, I do. And I think, like you said, Justin, it's there's a period of learning one another, whether it's me learning the best way to utilize her, and her learning how to best fit into what we're trying to do. And that takes time. And to her credit, she's hung in there, and I think she's learned other ways than, I have to score 20 to have a good game. She did not shoot it well at Connecticut, didn't have her best game, but she was engaged and locked in and a great teammate. And that just happens, but that shows progress too. Like she's all in, and she's just a sophomore, second year player that has all-star potential, and we all know it. She knows it too, and so it's the defense, it's the passing. I think her passing's gotten better. The sky's the limit for her. She just needs to stay in it. But I've certainly myself have learned how to better utilize her over the course of the season, and I think we're in a pretty good flow right now.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. I'll see you after.